submit a written comment. Please complete a comment card for each item and submit it to the city clerk, who is taking her seat right over there, prior to the public comment portion of this item. I'm going to call the meeting to order. And Commissioner Reinhardt, will you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Certainly. Put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And Kimberly, may we have the roll call?
Yes, we just need to pause for a minute. Granicus isn't on.
Oh, I see. We're pausing for just a minute. Who's Graticus?
That's our web streaming.
Oh, well, hello, Graticus.
It is now working.
Okay.
Good evening. Commissioner Reinhardt,
Present.
Commissioner Sharon,
Present.
Vice Chair Roth, Chair Anderson.
Present.
Chair Anderson, you have a quorum with
Well-
Commissioner Roth, Vice Chair Roth absent.
Wonderful. Thank you, Kimberly. Vice Chair Roth has submitted a request for an excused absence. Do I have a motion and a second to approve this request?
Commissioner Sharon
Moves to.
moves the motion.
Second.
Terrific. Kimberly, can we have a roll call?
Yes. Commissioner Reinhardt,
Aye.
Commissioner Sharon,
Aye.
Chair Anderson.
Aye.
Chair Anderson, you have approval, 3-0.
Terrific. We now need to approve the agenda. May I have a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
You have a motion to approve the agenda. Commissioner Reinhardt.
I second.
This is going to be cute. We'll go back and forth. May we have a roll call?
Commissioner Reinhardt,
Aye.
Commissioner Sharon,
Aye.
Chair Anderson.
Aye.
Chair Anderson, you have approval, 3-0.
Terrific. We're now moving on to public comments. This section is reserved for persons wishing to speak on items not listed on the agenda that are under the subject matter of the Planning Commission. If you have something to distribute to the Planning Commission, please don't approach the dais. Hand your item to our city clerk and she'll distribute it to us on your behalf. Public testimony is limited to 3 minutes per speaker, and a speaker's time may not be transferred to another. Persons addressing the Planning Commission shall not engage in disorderly conduct that disrupts or otherwise impedes the orderly conduct of the meeting. I will now defer to the city clerk.
Thank you. We did not receive any written public comments, nor do we have any speaker cards.
Terrific. Thank you so much, Kimberly. Okay. Our next item is to conduct a public hearing to consider approving a conditional use permit for an on-site alcoholic beverage consumption within a fast casual restaurant. Who'd ever heard of fast casual before? And to make, I learn something new every day. And to make a determination of exemption under the California Environmental Quality Act. I will now open the public hearing and defer to Principal Planner Robbie. Robbie, how do you pronounce your last name?
Nesevic.
Nesevic. Robbie Nesevic for the staff presentation.
Good evening, Honorable Chair and members of the Planning Commission. Tonight we're talking about an alcohol CUP application. This is for the Blue Agave restaurant that is moving into 5879 Canaan Road. And I guess with that, I'm going to introduce our Associate Planner, Katrina Garcia.
Thank you, Robbie, and good evening, Commissioners. The item before you tonight is a conditional use permit to serve alcohol within a restaurant. Tonight, I'll be covering the following topics: the location and the site of the proposed use, the project scope, the existing conditions, and staff's recommendation. The location of the proposed alcohol service will be in a fast casual restaurant called the Blue Agave, which is located in Building B of the Agoura Hills City Mall. The shopping center is zoned CSMU-AH, or Commercial Service Mixed Use with an Affordable Housing Overlay, and is the northernmost shopping center in this area. It is surrounded by single-family neighborhoods on the west and across Canaan Road to the east. On the north is Willow Elementary School's playground, and to the south is the Twin Oaks Shopping Center. An open space designated area is also located west of the shopping center. The shopping center contains a variety of uses, including other restaurants, retail stores, service shops such as hair and nail salons, massage establishments, and pet grooming. An indoor playground is also located in Building B and is separated from the Blue Agave by a pet supply store. The proposed project is to operate a fast casual restaurant with a Type 41 alcoholic beverage license. The California Alcoholic Beverage Control, or ABC, defines a Type 41 license as an on-site sale of beer and wine at restaurants where food or meals are substantially sold. The license allows minors to be in the establishment, which is typical of family restaurants. The license also requires that each server of the alcoholic beverages, including the managers, hold a responsible beverage service certificate. The proposed alcohol use will be within the Blue Agave restaurant, which has a building permit for a tenant improvement. To clarify, the restaurant use is allowed by right and doesn't require a conditional use permit. However, the proposed alcohol service does. The proposed area of alcohol service in the restaurant is approximately 623 square feet of the tenant space, which is the general location of the dining area highlighted here in yellow. As I previously mentioned, the applicant has a current tenant improvement permit with a building division to occupy the existing space, which was previously occupied by a bakery. The lot contains 358 parking spaces, and 332 are currently allocated to the other uses in the shopping center. The size of the suite is 1,590 square feet, which would require 15 spaces to be allocated to the restaurant. The proposed alcohol use in the restaurant doesn't require additional parking, so the shopping center can accommodate the restaurant. For reference, the shopping center currently has 4 other restaurants that are operating with an alcoholic beverage license issued by ABC. 3 of the restaurants are operating with a Type 41 license and no approved CUP from the city. Because the licenses have been active in each of the tenant spaces prior to the city adopting the alcoholic beverage ordinance in 2009, which requires a CUP, the 3 existing establishments are operating under a legal non-conforming status. After its adoption, this meant that any establishment that did not already have an active license to serve alcohol would need a conditional use permit. On the same note, existing legal non-conforming alcoholic beverage establishments who wish to change the alcohol license type or modify the area of service would also need a CUP. In this instance, though, the previous bakery use did not operate with an alcoholic beverage license, so the request for a conditional use permit to serve alcohol in a new restaurant is warranted. As part of staff's review, the project was distributed to the LA County Sheriff's Department for comment. The Sheriff's Department stated that there have been no alcohol-related incidences in the area, and a new restaurant that serves alcohol would not overburden law enforcement resources. With that, staff respectfully recommends the Planning Commission approve conditional use permit case number CUP 2023-0019, subject to the conditions of approval and based on the findings of the attached draft resolution, and to make a determination of exemption under the California Environmental Quality Act. This concludes my presentation. I'm available for any questions. Thank you.
Terrific. Thank you, Katrina. Do any commissioners have questions of staff?
Yes. Will there be outdoor dining and, first,
The applicant has not applied for any outdoor dining permit at this time.
okay.
I do not have any questions. Thank
Okay.
you.
Nor do I. Does any commissioner have ex parte communications to disclose?
No.
No.
Yeah, I don't either, actually. I didn't visit it, although I hadn't seen the bakery before. Okay. The public hearing is now open. I will defer to the applicant. Do we have the applicant here in the room? Terrific. You or your representative have a total of 15 minutes for the presentation if you'd like. Great. And then you've got that microphone there in front of you. Adjust it if you need to. And then the city clerk will let you know when 1 minute remains on the timer.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Rogelio Aguirre. Basically coming back home. I used to work at Ligo Kid when I was 15. Back when it was when I was at Wisdom Shopping Center. Worked there for about 14 years. Started as a dishwasher, ended up as a bartender. Then wanted to keep going. Wanted to achieve more and be a manager. Got into managing into the Alamo. Came back to Agoura, opened the Alamo, and moved on to a different place called Casa Escobar as management again. Now, with all this experience, I wanted to come back home and come to Agoura. I lived in Agoura. I love Agoura, and yet we just want to bring our experience on food. We believe we have a good product. We believe in what we can do. I think back in the day, Agoura was not ready for all these Mexican spices that we used to do. I mean, anything like the chip salsa was too hot for everyone. Now, everyone is ready. They demanded, they wanted, so we're trying to bring that here. Now, it's a fast casual Mexican restaurant. We are looking more into families. We are not looking into loud music, bars or sports bars or anything like that. We want to invite everyone. We want everybody to be welcome. We want to get involved with everyone. We want to be basically your kitchen without having to clean anything. That's what we want. Anyway, we understand that the license of 41 is a privilege, and we take that very serious. We already have a couple of restaurants up north in San Jose. We have another restaurant with a full bar in Ventura called the Blue Agave as well. But here, we wanted, economy is not there, and we want to start small, and if everything goes well, we'll see later on. But right now, this is what we're offering, and we just want to let you guys know that we understand, and we will have everybody prepared for what we are looking to preparing food or serving alcohol. We're looking at maybe to sell 10% of alcohol and the rest on food. We're not looking to have a big volume of alcohol. We are looking into having it go a dine-in and have an option to have a beer, a glass of wine, and go home. Our establishment, as you can tell, is only 600 feet where customers are. So we're not big, we're small. But it's just in addition to what we're trying to offer. So we just want to let you guys make your decision on that. Okay?
When would you anticipate opening with
Very good question. We have a lease already paying for over a year. Yes. It's not been easy, but we know it's a process. And we didn't quit. We're still here and we're so close. Our hope is to open late next month or the beginning of May. Yes, hopefully. Cross your fingers. Yes.
Oh.
Well, I'm sorry. I would not recommend opening Cinco de Mayo. I will recommend maybe to open a week or 2 weeks before, or start slow because
open by Cinco de Mayo.
it's a big day for everyone that day.
Commissioner Sharon, do you have any questions?
I do not.
Okay, fantastic. I will defer to the city clerk for any public comments. If you have something to distribute to, I said that part already. If you've got something to hand to us, give it to the city clerk. Testimony is limited to 3 minutes. Kimberly, do we have any public comments?
We do not.
Okay, terrific. You have an opportunity to say something more if you'd like.
No, we just wanna say we're thrilled to be here, and I'm believe me when I say I feel home again. So, thank you for the time.
Glad to hear that.
Thank you.
Okay, before closing the public hearing, does any commissioner have any further questions for the applicant or the staff? Okay, I'm going to close the public hearing. Do I gavel? Yeah, there being no further questions, I will now close the public hearing. Am I good? There we go.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we'll move on to deliberations. Commissioner Sharon.
So I, without giving away, but
you can.
yeah,
This
I
is the
mean,
time.
okay, so, this sounds like a slam dunk for me in decision making. You have multiple restaurants, you know how to handle the business process, how to manage your license correctly. You have a proven track record. I love the fact that you are coming back to Agoura, and that I used to work at the Canyon Club in high school here, and we would always go to Latigo after to like blow off steam. So I love that. And so it's a no-brainer for me.
I agree. It's always nice to hear people wanting to come home to Agoura, because I think many of us, whether it's your first time coming here or you are returning, people do feel like they're coming home when they drive into the gateway of the Santa Monicas. So, and you also name-checked a bunch of restaurants that I loved. I think I left a few brain cells out in my 20s. And again, having a track record and also a care and consideration for the spirit of the community and what that environment looks like, and that it's not a spring break restaurant. That's you've obviously put a lot of thought into it, and I appreciate that.
And I just want to echo my fellow commissioners. Thank you. And I thank you for sharing your story. I love that you started as a dishwasher and then have moved into being a business owner, and that you're bringing this business back to Agoura Hills, and you're bringing a family business to Agoura Hills. We are a family community, and it's fantastic. And I look forward to, hopefully very soon, being able to come and enjoy the food at Blue Agave. Okay, I'm making some assumptions here, but I think they're pretty safe. May I have, Jessica, I think it's your turn, a motion to approve the staff's recommendation.
Commissioner Reinhardt makes a motion to approve staff.
Commissioner.
It would be helpful if you said on the record that if you can make the findings, just so we're clear.
Yeah.
Thank you, Counselor. I appreciate that.
This is me remembering.
This is Commissioner Reinhardt stating that I can make all the findings. Thank you.
I too can make all the findings.
I too can make all the findings. Thank you, Cap.
Now, the motion one more time, please.
Okay, so I am making a motion to approve
Second.
staff recommendation.
Commissioner Sharon seconds.
Kimberly, may we have a roll call?
Commissioner Reinhardt,
Aye.
Commissioner Sharon,
Aye.
Chair Anderson.
Aye.
Chair Anderson, you have approval 3-0.
Terrific. Congratulations. Thank you so much. Okay, our next item is to conduct a public hearing to consider approving a conditional use permit to operate a beverage containers buyback facility and to make a determination of exemption under the California Environmental Quality Act. I will now open the public hearing and defer to Principal Planner Robbie, Nasovic for the staff presentation.
Thank you, Honorable Chair, members of the Planning Commission. Once again, for item number 2, we have a conditional use permit for a recycling center. It's at 5727 Canaan Road, behind the Ralph's Shopping Center. And with that, I'm going to introduce our Associate Planner, Valerie Darbouze.
Thank you, Robbie. Thank you, members of the Commission and Chair Anderson. Good evening. The project, as you mentioned, is a CUP, a conditional use permit, CUP for short, for a buyback facility where used beverage containers are turned in to redeem the cash value of the container. So the project is, as you mentioned, is located in the Twin Oaks Shopping Center at the northwest corner of Canaan and Thousand Oaks Boulevard. The recently remodeled property includes a main building with inline tenants, including a major retailer, the Ralph's Supermarket. Parking serves the main building and 5 other freestanding buildings. The north side of that shopping center joins the Agoura Hills City Mall And to the west side, the shopping center adjoins a multifamily residential development. Access into the center is provided via multiple driveways, including a connecting driveway between the shopping centers. So as background, the beverage containers buyback facility has been operating for several years behind the Rouse Shopping Center supermarket by leasing land from the property owner. When the facility changed and the new owner, CRV, applied for a business license, the city became aware that the facility had been operating without a conditional use permit and as required by the zoning code. The applicant came forward and submitted the appropriate documents to begin the process of a conditional use permit review in order to be permitted to operate on a permanent basis. So over the years, the buyback facilities have been operating in the same general location and along the rear side of the main building. That driveway, service driveway, provides access to the loading dock and employee parking. Although the parcel is in proximity to residential development, the service driveway is buffered by a 100-foot wide flood control channel that restricts access to pedestrians and vehicles attempting to enter the neighborhood, avoiding potential noise and traffic nuisance. So the facility is licensed by Cal Recycle, the agency responsible for implementing the recycling programs throughout the state of California. And it operates with two 8-foot wide by 24-foot wide long, by 8 feet tall cargo containers placed alongside of the building. One container stores the discarded bottles and cans, which is emptied weekly, and the other is used to store the items that are required to operate the business, such as trash cans, shade structure, and table for the personnel to issue the redemption value of the returned beverage containers. These buyback facilities are required where large retailers, such as supermarkets, operate to increase consumers' access to recycling programs. The facility serves a 1-mile convenience zone as established by Cal Recycle, which means that it meets the recycling requirements of other supermarkets within that zone. The facility can accommodate all consumers within the city and beyond. Items accepted include glass, plastic, and aluminum containers, and the refunds vary from 5 cents to 25 cents a container as specified by Cal Recycle. The facility operates Monday through Saturday from 8:30 to 4:30 p.m. and is closed on Sunday. So the subject property is zoned CSMU-AH, which is a commercial shopping center, mixed-use, affordable housing zone, which allows retail businesses and associated use such as this one to operate according to the development standards of the zone, including those of the outdoor storage standards. The project is like and similar to outdoor equipment and complies with a site setback and height requirement. All items used by the facilities are stored away in the cargo containers at night and locked by the end of business day. So in order to further protect the public safety, conditions were attached to the project, which require that when the service driveway in the rear of the shopping center leading to the loading docks be used as a one-way driveway. As such, the applicant will cause the installation of signage in 2 locations to remind drivers of the site conditions. 2, the facility will be responsible for protecting drainage from accidental spills still remaining in the beverage containers. And 3, lastly, the facility will be responsible for maintaining the areas surrounding the containers in good conditions. So the project was publicized according to the public hearing noticing requirements, and staff, as a result, received numerous comments in favor of the service. So in order to meet the community's recycling needs, staff recommends the Planning Commission approve conditional use permit case number CUP 2023-0023 and make a determination of exemption under the California Environmental Quality Act per section 15303 for small facilities appurtenant to the main building. A draft resolution is attached to your staff report with findings and conditions of approval for your consideration. A copy of all the public comments have been also provided to the Commission. And this concludes my presentation. I'm available to answer any question, as is the applicant. Thank you.
Terrific. Thank you, Valerie. Does any commissioner have questions for the staff?
So is this a business run by the state?
No, no, no. It's an independent private business.
Okay,
It's just regulated by the state, Cal Recycle.
got you. Thank you.
I do not have any questions for staff. Thank you.
Nor do I. Fantastic presentation, Valerie. Thank you. Do any commissioners have ex parte communications to disclose?
No, I mean, I drive by the facility when I go to Ralph's, but other than that, I think we're okay.
Yeah, same.
Okay, terrific. The public hearing is open, and I will now defer to the applicant. Yeah, come on up. You or your representative may have, you've got 15 minutes. You know, adjust that microphone, and then Kimberly will let you know when 1 minute remains on that timer.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Maria. I'm the owner of Sierra Only Recycle Center here in Agoura Hills. A few years ago, there was, as we heard, there was a Replanet location that operated there for about 10 years, I believe. It closed down, the whole company closed down, and they went out of business. They closed all of their locations. At the time, I owned and operated multiple locations throughout Los Angeles and Ventura County for centers. So I spoke with the property managers at Regency Centers, and they were delighted to have another recycle center come. You know, the residents and community wanted a place to continue to recycle. So I obtained a lease. I opened a center here. When I tried to get a business license, I was notified that a conditional use permit would be necessary. I wasn't aware of such a process. My understanding was the previous center didn't require one. But by California law, yes, a grocery store must be in conjunction with the recycle center, and consumers that purchase the beverages pay the CRV fee when purchasing these containers. So they have to, by law, have a place to come and recycle those materials and get their CRV refund back. So we've really received a lot of positive response and feedback. I take pride in being here in the community, and I think we fulfill a very important role here as well. It was really nice, actually, to even read the public comments that were out there. I hadn't seen them prior, and although I know, because I've heard it from the customers and from the employee, and you know, it was just nice. We have the animal shelter, the fire department, you know, community agencies that come and are a part of it. So, you know, I'm here to get this done. I'm in the works to improve it, not just for this location, but really for all of mine throughout, to kind of have it all be in line with the brand and improve some permanent signage and make the centers just look a little more appealing in general. But I'm here to discuss and go over any, you know, conditions that we need to do to be able to have a clean and safe center continue running for the community of Agoura Hills.
Terrific. Thanks so much. Do any commissioners have questions for the applicant? No, fantastic. I will now defer to the city clerk for any public comments.
Thank you. So I'm just going to read a statement because there were a few.
Oh, that's right. That's right. We got a lot. Yeah, you have a lot of fans.
It was, I mean, you know, once they found out about I'm telling you, I didn't know of what would come in. So when I came in, it's just, you know, it makes you happy. You're filled with pride that you're doing something good. So,
Written public comments were received by email on or before 4 p.m. deadline today, and they were forwarded to the Planning Commission prior to the meeting and will be part of the permanent record. There were 32 that were not, they were identified as this item, but they did not relate to this item, to the topic, from Dahlia Vega in Agoura Hills and from Dominique Simon in Oak Park. The other, let's see, All the following were in support of the item. The following public comments were received from Agoura Hills residents: Ria Aoyama, Suzanne Apel, Carolyn Cass-Barton, Shane Chandler, Eric Fomberg, Robin Cares representing Agoura Animal Care Center, Terry Lamoureux, Scott McIsaac, Adrian A. Thomas, Jess Thomas, Old Agoura. The following public comments were received, did not identify a city of residence: Jenna Albert, Ann Altman, Scott Benjamin, Robert and Allison Blanco, Sarah Borner, Christina Gand, Steve Guerrero, Tina Kadner, Katerina Kuznetsova, Bettina Linney, Dmitry Mayogurov, Velvet Novak, Judy Rifkin, Ed and Sonia Rosa, Rod Seeley, Eileen Siegel, Megan Young, and there was one that was only identified by their email address, which we protect. And there are no speaker cards.
Terrific. Thank you so much, Kimberly. And I do just want to address our two public commenters who were commenting on this item, but they were opposed to housing at this site. And I just want to say, in case they're listening, that is not what's before us tonight. What's before us tonight is approving a recycling center. Terrific. Okay, so no questions from commissioners. You heard all of those public comments. You have an opportunity to respond to any of that if you would like.
No, yeah, thank you.
Okay, so before closing the public hearing, does any commissioner have any further questions for the applicant or for staff? All right, I'm going to close the public hearing. And we'll now move on to deliberations. Commissioner Reinhardt.
It was so wonderful to read all of the comments in support of your business. Would that, well, we would be here until 4 in the morning if every issue had the community engagement that your agenda item did, but it was so positive to hear the impact that your business has on the community, and it means a lot that, again, you bring care and consideration into the spirit of how this community operates, and I really appreciated that. I can make all the findings.
I echo what my fellow commissioners said. You know, I've never been inundated so many comments from the public on any of the topics that we've had presented in front of us, and they were all positive. And so kudos to you. You've created a great following and a great community of people who love your services. So I certainly can find all the findings, make all the findings.
And I will echo my fellow planning commissioners. I love a woman business owner, like who's spreading out and thinking about even upping your game with us. Thank you for being in Agoura Hills and providing such a tremendous service. We're big environmentalists here. We care a lot about nature. So I know that it's a requirement that you are here. It is also a wonderful thing to have you here in Agoura Hills. It's very in keeping with who we are as a community. And I too can make all of the findings. Okay, Commissioner Sharon, I think it's your turn to make a motion.
Commissioner Sharon makes a motion to approve the CUP 2023-0023. Is that sufficient?
It might be easier just to say approve the staff recommendation.
Okay, I approve this. I'm put forth a motion to approve the staff recommendation.
Commissioner Reinhardt seconds.
Commissioner Reinhardt,
Aye.
Commissioner Sharon,
Aye.
Chair Anderson.
Aye.
Chair Anderson, you have approval, 3-0.
Terrific. I will now defer to Principal Planner Nasovic.
I got nothing. That was our last item.
Oh, okay, okay. All right. No, hold
Oh,
on. Aren't you, wait, you have magic words.
I do
Yeah, you've got magic words. These are, so to our student in the audience, these are the magic words about the appeal. So this, here, you'll hear them.
The decision of the Planning Commission shall be final within 15 days from the date of the decision unless an appeal has been filed with the City Council.
So we are now at the end of the substance of our meeting. Are there any comments from staff? No? Okay. Are there any comments from the Planning Commission? And, okay, this is the hard part of our meeting. When the three of us walked in here, we are used to seeing 5 names up on this dia One of the names is not here. Morgan, you heard earlier, Commissioner Roth, because he is on a long-planned family vacation. But there's another name that was here the last time we were here, and it was John Assumption, who had served on the Planning Commission since 2016. And he passed away late in February. And so tonight, we will be adjourning this meeting in John's honor. So Commissioner Reinhardt, can I turn to you for the motion to adjourn in John's honor and anything that you would like to say about that, about our commissioner?
Thank you, Chair Anderson. This is a difficult task for us to talk about, but one of the things that you might have noticed is that a couple of us are a little green in the Robert's Rules of Order and procedure here. And one of my first impressions of John was how welcoming and kind he was to myself and my fellow commissioners as we came on to the Planning Commission. John's smile could light up a room, and the fact that he was a Renaissance man in every sense of the word, his love of baseball, and not only baseball, but being an umpire and understanding the rules of engagement, and that he brought that passion to the way that he conducted Planning Commission meetings when he was our chair, and that he approached everything with grace, humor, and kindness. And if we could all take a little bit of John with us and approach things with grace, humor, and kindness, the world will always be a better place. So I make a motion to adjourn the meeting in our dear friend and former chair, John Assumption's honor.
I don't even know what to say. It's when I think of John, I think of service. He was here literally, to the last moment, serving the city, serving the kids on the baseball teams, fundraising, organizing. He was guiding us, newbies, and always, it was like, don't worry about it, I got you. And really made me comfortable. And I probably echo my fellow rookies in terms of just the guidance that he provided. And so his presence is going to be very much missed. And I second a motion to adjourn in John's honor.
And Commissioner Roth, as we talked about, is not able to be here tonight. We would have otherwise held doing this, but other commissioners are not going to be here in other meetings. So we did want to be able to do this tonight. And Commissioner Roth wrote something that will be part of the public comment, and I'm just going to read it. So this is from Commissioner Roth, and then I will offer my own thoughts. Okay, so from Commissioner Roth. Thank you, Chair Anderson and fellow commissioners, for allowing my comment to be read aloud in chambers tonight. I'm sorry that I couldn't be with you tonight to pay tribute and honor to our friend, Commissioner John Assumption. John exemplified every value that defines our city and had done so for many years. He poured his free time and heart into this community, and he was measured, thoughtful, deliberate, and operated with a sense of decorum that any governing body across this country would benefit from having. John loved Agoura Hills, and the current state of the city reflects his values. John had an immense heart. The imprint of his passion for Agoura Hills will remain in our community forever, and I'm deeply saddened that we will no longer be able to serve alongside him. His legacy, thoroughness, and commitment to family and community are attributes that I will continue to carry with me as a commissioner and a community member. His loss is significant for the city, but more so for his family, his wife, Fulgene, and his 2 boys. I saw short snippets of John as a father where we'd run into each other down the street at the Water Wings, or when his children would briefly with him here in chambers. I can only imagine how great he was as a parent, given his demonstrated qualities as a community leader. He'll always be an inspiration to me, and I will miss him deeply. My thoughts are with all of you and all those who were fortunate enough to know and work alongside John, especially our city staff. May his memory be a blessing and forever known throughout our community. Thank you again. So I do want to start with our staff and just say that staff has communicated to me how much they appreciated John, how important it was, how important he was to them. And so staff, just, I want you to know that we are raising your voices here too. And I know that John, and here's how I know that John appreciated you guys. He always said it at the end of every meeting, no matter what we were talking about, no matter what we were doing, he offered his appreciation, and it was so very genuine. So John and I started on the Planning Commission together way back in 2016, and from that very moment until his very last meeting, and John's been with me a lot today. He's been in my heart through everything and for the past few weeks. And the word that keeps coming up for me is kindness. He's so kind, but it's not just the kind of kind that when you see someone, they're kind. He actually was outgoing about being kind. He would reach out. I understand he reached out to all of the new planning commissioners when they came on and took them to coffee. He would reach out to me. Our very last planning commission meeting here. And it was just days before he went into the hospital. And none of us knew. We talked about it a little bit afterwards. He seemed a little thin. We were joking with the student earlier that, this was going to be a contentious meeting when we knew, in fact, that pretty much this was not going to be a contentious meeting. But John's meeting, it wasn't contentious, but it was a divided vote, which I think was the first time that this planning commission had a divided vote. And how John conducted himself in that meeting and then how he ended it epitomized who he was as a human being. And I will say, who I aspire to be, because he and I had different sides of that, and we were able to talk about that and deliberate with respect. I understood where he was coming from, and I very much felt that he understood where I was coming from. And the very end of this meeting, I actually went back and watched it again. At the very end of the meeting, after the meeting had ended and before we adjourned, he stopped and thanked all of us for our deliberations and for doing it so collegially, for being able to disagree so agreeably. I mean, that was so John. And then there was a transition. He had been chair and he nominated me to be chair, and I nominated Commissioner Roth to be vice chair. And we ended this meeting and he said he would always be here for us. He gave us his blessing. He said we had his cell phone, that we were welcome to call him anytime, and we will not be able to do that in person. But I do believe that he will be guiding us. There's a Tennyson poem called Ulysses where there's a line in it that says, "I am a part of all I have met." So John is a part of all of us, and I firmly believe that that part of John that is in me, that is in Commissioner Reinhardt, that is in Commissioner Sharon, that is in all of us, is now that much more alive, and we will all be kinder, more compassionate people for having known John and for bringing him. And he has shaped this community, and through who he is and his inspiration, he will continue to shape this community. And so with that, I will call on the city clerk for a roll call on the motion to adjourn.
Commissioner Reinhardt,
Aye.
Commissioner Sharon,
Aye. Aye.
Chair Anderson.
Aye.
Chair Anderson, you have approval, 3-0.
Okay. The next regular Planning Commission meeting is scheduled for 6:30 p.m. on April 4th in the City Council chambers of the Civic Center, located right here where you are at 3001 Lady Face Court. This meeting is now adjourned in memory of John Ascension.